Hello and welcome back to a You Up Sunday special SOS episode. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. So good to be back here with you, Jordana. We love an SOS. The audience has been clamoring for more. They love it. And we are very excited to be joined by You Up listener, Alysha. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Welcome.
We're very happy you're on the show. Thank you for coming on. Where are you coming from, Alysha?
Don't make fun of me, but I'm from Staten Island, New York.
No making fun. We love it. We love taking a ferry.
I don't believe you at all, but thank you.
It's a public bus on the water.
If it's good enough for Kim Kardashian to go on a date with Pete Davidson too, it's good enough for me. That's
right. So you're coming to us from Staten Island, from the islands of Staten.
Yeah, Staten, Italy, but I'm not Italian.
Okay. So we have an email from you. This episode, what we do is we hear your problems and we try to give some perspective. How old are you and what do you do?
I'm 28 years old. I'm a bartender in Hoboken, New Jersey, and I'm also a flight attendant.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Hoboken bar scene. People get wild there.
Yeah, I've worked there for like 7 years. I love it. I don't want to stop working at my bar ever.
That's great.
Alysha, what's the most annoying thing as a flight attendant that a passenger can do for someone? This is for someone who flies quite frequently. I think it would be an interesting.
Yeah, I would love to know if I'm doing the thing that's annoying you most.
You probably aren't. The only thing that really annoys me is when people ring their call light to hand me garbage.
Call light for garbage.
Okay, I like that. That sounds. It's a good one.
Right. And you guys, the flight attendants come around enough.
Yeah, we're always around. Yeah. And like, I'm not going to just grab it with my bare hands if I don't have my gloves on and,
Right. I would assume the call light is for, hey, a drink would be great, or I have an issue, or other things.
Yeah. Just don't hand me garbage. It's just very, I don't know.
Yeah. I always feel like the flight attendants are kind of mad whenever you hit the light, no matter what.
Is the light for emergencies?
Tell us.
No. So I work with a lot of flight attendants. I think since I was a bartender for so long that I'm prepared for this.
Yeah.
They act like it's the hardest job in the world and they're annoyed by anything, some of them. It's really not that serious. So it's both. It's a two-way problem. Some of them are a problem and some customers are also a problem.
Right. I guess this is people suck territory. Then you're never going to get away from.
It's such an easy job. If you're a miserable flight attendant, you have to look within yourself because it's such an easy, great job.
I didn't see this coming.
I love that, Jared. You should use that on someone who seems like they're in a bad mood. If you're in a bad mood, it's because you're miserable.
Right.
Not me.
Right. I'm going to bring this attitude into the skies with me. Yeah.
You're going to see a news report of a man dragged off a Delta Airlines.
I just told them they have an easy job. I don't. To the Delta flight attendants, I don't think the job's easy. That was Alicia's words, clapping back at the industry.
I love it.
Maybe you guys should fly my airline one day. Maybe I'll tell you when my camera's not rolling what airline it is.
Afterwards, I will need to know.
Yes, we all need to know. So, Alysha, let's get into your issue. What's going on? Talk to us. What's happening?
Okay, this is I don't know. This is very confusing for me, and I feel like you guys have heard it all, so maybe you see something that I am missing. So when I first became a flight attendant, I wasn't able to work at the New York airports. They made me work out of Philadelphia for 3 months.
It's like the hazing. I'm just kidding.
It's just they didn't need people in New York. Yeah, they just, so it took me 3 months to transfer to New York, basically.
Okay.
So I was living in Philly for 3 months, and I had never been a dating app person because I guess I was always meeting people at my bar. And I was always paranoid about seeing someone at my bar from a dating app. I don't know. I just never was into them.
Okay.
So when I was in Philly, it's I don't know anyone here. It's the perfect opportunity for me to finally go on one. So I downloaded Hinge while I was living in Philadelphia, and I matched with this guy, and we probably hung out 3 or 4 times while I was living in Philly.
What were the hangouts?
So I'm a diehard NBA basketball fan, and so is he. So most of the time we would just be going out to watch a game together.
So first date was let's go watch a game?
Yeah, he's a diehard LeBron fan. I'm a Steph Curry fan. Lakers Warriors was the first time we hung out.
Okay.
So we watched a basketball game, stuff like that. Okay, so the first 3 times we hung out, and all 3 or 4 times we didn't kiss, we didn't do anything. It was very friends. You know what I mean?
Okay. Did you feel attracted to him?
Oh, he's so hot. He's so hot. Yeah.
So you were hoping
100%.
for a kiss.
I think like in the beginning you like don't really know what to expect.
Hmm.
And I think after it didn't happen a few times, I was kind of like, maybe we're just friends and like that's fine too, you know?
Right.
Mm.
So I told him I was transferring to New York. So then maybe after like a few months, so then I transferred to New York. And then I think we hung out 3 times after I transferred to New York.
So it was 3 in
And
Philly, and now with no kiss, and now you've hung out an additional 3 times since coming to New York.
yes, and then 3 times in New York, those times we actually made out and like slept in the same bed.
Okay.
Okay.
How did those dates come together? If you don't mind me asking, like, did he come here? Did you go there? How did the dynamic work with that?
So the first time I saw him after I left was I had a layover in Philly
Okay.
for my job. So he met me at my hotel when I landed and we like watched the basketball game, of course, and then that was the first time we ever actually like made out.
Okay.
Then the next time I saw him after that, I drove to Philly. We went to his house and I watched, it's always basketball related. Like we watched an NBA Finals game together. And that time we also made out.
But no sex.
Never, yeah, like
Okay.
no, it's still out of question. So then the most recent time we
But hold
saw,
on, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, pry a little bit more, but like out of the question, like you're sleeping, you drove to him, you're sleeping in the bed, you're making out. Did it just
just because it
nobody
hasn't
took
been
it
our
to?
vibe. Yeah,
Okay.
like it just hasn't been our vibe.
It's interesting that like, because I feel like a makeout is like pretty sexual. Like not like obviously it's not sex, but I think it's like it breaks the friendship barrier and makes things feel like less friendly.
Right. I'm with you. It doesn't feel like friendship at this point, but you do wonder. I guess there is, roles are taking in the physical relationship where if everyone's holding the door open for the other person to go through and no one makes a move, no, you first, no, you first, no, you first. It can get to the point of like, I guess we aren't a match that way.
Right.
Is that kind of,
Um,
or was it just, I'm happy to make out. It felt right.
So let me finish telling you the story
Please.
because
Okay.
I guess
Sorry.
I guess I never really cared really either way. It's like I could take it or leave it, like if we're friends or
You're just
not.
having
Like
fun.
yeah,
Okay.
like it's so unrealistic for us to even be together. Like you know what I mean? Like it's almost like not that serious. But then a few things happened.
Okay.
So we made out those few times, whatever. And then since those few times, the last time I saw him, I drove to Philly to go to a Sixers game with him, a Sixers Warriors game.
So much sports.
There's a lot of sports.
Yeah, a lot of sports.
Hold on. So give me the timeline. Or give us the timeline. So when was the Sixers? Today is March 15th. When was that game?
This game, I want to say it was in December.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in December because Steph Curry was hurt.
Okay.
So it was like I think right before Christmas, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the game, and this was my first time seeing him since like the last few times that we had actually made out and stuff.
And that was in the finals, and that would be June.
Yeah, I might have seen him one more time in between.
Okay. How much texting is going on between these things?
So we talk almost every day, but like not real conversations. Like we DM each other on Instagram, like sports stuff almost every single day. And then we'll actually like text and have like an actual conversation, maybe like once a week.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what was I saying? Okay, so we went to the Sixers game together, and then I'm in my head, I was like, I'm just gonna hug him because like I don't want to deal with the whole like, is he gonna kiss me awkwardness, like whatever, whatever. So after the game was over, like he walked me to my car, and I was like, oh, like thanks for like I don't know, coming to the game with me, whatever. And then I just hugged him, and then I went home. Then okay, this is what's weird. So then there's two weird things that are about to happen. So
Okay. And this was when? This last time you've seen him was when?
in December.
December. Okay.
Yeah. So then like 2 days after the Sixers game, this is so weird. He's gonna hate that I'm saying this. Um, he texted me asking, like, I guess he saw that we had a mutual like person, or he saw that I follow someone that he follows on Instagram, right?
Okay.
So he's a photographer, and I guess he photographed their wedding. And he texted me saying, I know this is weird, but I was working this wedding and one of the bridesmaids I thought was cute. Can you see if she's like tagged in like any of the Instagram pictures? Because he couldn't see the profile, but I could.
Okay.
Okay.
So once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, we're definitely friends. Like I've been overthinking this. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know, whatever.
Well, that's the message that
Right.
to me would imply was he letting you know.
A message is being sent.
Yes, to me.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so like that makes like, okay, I can stop wondering about this, like whatever. And I tried to look for him, like she wasn't tagged. I was like, sorry, I can't find anything, whatever. And we just keep talking, like as like we will normally do, right?
Right.
Okay.
So now what happened most recently has me the most confused is I had already decided that, okay, he looks at me as a friend, but now he texted me like, I think last Saturday or the Saturday before, saying that his family has a timeshare in the Bahamas and he wants to go next month for his birthday and he wants me to go with him.
Okay.
So now I'm just so confused. I'm like, wait, are we friends? Are we going as friends? Like, what's the vibe?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
To you is, what do you want from this? Like, do you want to be more than friends? Or because it feels like you're like waiting for him to tell you what you are, but I'm not. To me, I'm not really sure if you're interested in that either.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think he's hot. Like, I would hook up with him, but like, I wouldn't date him because he lives in Philadelphia.
Okay, so you're cool with like having with what you're doing. You like what you're doing.
Yeah, I like what we're doing either way. I just want to know, like, if I go to like, should I even go to the Bahamas with him? And if I do, are we going with a friend vibe to Bahamas? Are we going like him thinking it's going to be more? You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. I think, okay, so there's a couple of things that I just want to feel. I'm going to go back to the metaphor of two people holding the door for each other.
Yeah.
Saying,
No, it makes
you
sense
go
to me.
first, you go first.
Right.
Because I think when he asked you about the other tag friend, it sounds like more of a challenge than a message. Like, it feels like you both want the other person to just be like, tell the other person what this is a little bit. Like, yeah, he asked you about another woman, but like, that's a little bit, that can also be a certain type of flirt. That's a certain type of, you know, I'm still a guy. I'm trying to hook up still. Hey, look at me. I'm in that game. You know, it can be, it could have been that too.
Are you saying he's saying that to see if she's like,
well, why would you be asking about her?
Like almost as a way to advance the relationship potentially, is to see if she cares?
Yeah, I think to change the conversation a little bit. Like sometimes when it's all basketball, Steph Curry, LeBron, you go, how do we get out of this fucking NBA chat? You know, like I gotta do something to shake this up.
Yeah, I can't be waiting for the next NBA Finals.
Right.
I don't know when that is.
I made that joke with him during the off season. Like, we have nothing to talk about. I'll see you when the season starts.
And what did he say to that?
No, we're just joking. Like,
But I'm saying, like, there's got to be someone here. It feels like, what does he do for a living?
He's a photographer.
Photographer.
He's a photographer, and he also owns a coffee shop.
How old is he?
He'll be 31 next month.
It just feels like everyone's in a rush to go nowhere. Like you don't seem. Time doesn't seem to be an issue for anyone involved.
Can I ask?
Like you're driving from Staten Island to Philly. That's a commitment. Like I don't know if I'm going for just basketball.
Yeah, but I've only done it twice.
Even once.
Yeah, I guess.
Didn't you have a moment where you go, I could be spending that time with people or extending relationships in other ways?
But I have so much fun with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew like it's worth the drive because I'm gonna have fun no matter what.
So why not? Yeah.
I don't even know if he likes me.
Whoa, hold on.
The best way to find out is to. I think when this question of this trip to me is a great opener. And what did you say, by the way? Because you said he asked you last Saturday. So did you answer him? I assume so.
No, I did.
Still waiting for that response to the Bahamas trip.
I told him I'll let you know around the 20th because that's when I get my work schedule for April.
Okay, so this is great. I think what you say is, I have a great time hanging out with you. I'm a little confused as to what this is. I really like hanging out with you. I'd be open, because it sounds like to me you'd be open to giving this a shot and seeing and like trying to date. It sounds like you don't really want to say that, but to me that's kind of what you want. And then like his response to that will give you a lot of information about what you need to know.
I guess I really just don't. I don't know. I guess like in my heart, I feel like he doesn't see me that way. But then I also think I make it awkward sometimes. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's always going to be awkward. I don't think you're making it awkward. I think you're both making it awkward because you're both not saying how you feel.
Is the possibility of him asking me to go to Bahamas with him like really just as friends? Is that like a
Seems
like? Do you think that's a possibility?
It doesn't seem like a possibility, but it does seem like. I mean, I wouldn't invite you to sleep over and make out as just a friend either. Like
we did meet on Hinge, and that's always in the back of my head. Like we met on a freaking dating app.
I don't think you would be crazy for thinking that you guys are dating. Like to me, it sounds
no, we're definitely not dating. Like I've dated guys since I've known him.
Right.
Do you tell him about those guys?
Well, we don't have that type of relationship. Like we really like. I feel like we hang out and we have fun, but it's always very surface level. Like I know nothing about his relationship past or like.
When you guys are talking, not about sports, because you say you talk not about sports like once a week. You're not. What are you talking about?
I feel like we just make fun of each other. I don't know if we've ever had a serious conversation. Like, even if he texts me saying like, "Oh, I think you're really pretty," I'll like do like a vomit emoji. Be like, "Can you go back to being mean to me, please?"
He texts
like, you know
I think you're really pretty,
and you do a vomit emoji.
But like as a joke, it's like we like to give each other like crap. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, hold on.
Like,
How?
go be mean to me again.
Give me the joke involved with. I think you're really pretty. How is that taken as a joke?
I don't know, because I'm so used to us making fun of each other that when like he's nice, I'm like, this is weird. Like, you know what I mean?
Give me an example of how you make fun of each other.
We just like roast each other, like about like everything.
Is it basketball adjacent? Is it
sometimes and sometimes it's not.
Is it about being from Staten Island? Is it about being from Philly? Like if you don't because right now it feels like you guys know nothing about each other.
You're probably right. We probably don't. It's like very like surface level.
Do you want to get to know him on a non-surface level, in a non-surface level way, or you like what you have?
I think I like what we have. Like I think us being together, that's like not a thing. I just don't know if like he wants to hook up.
Hold on. You're this is kind of I think there's like I feel like my parents asking me in middle school about a relationship about a woman I'm talking to in middle school. And I don't mean that you sound middle school-ish. I think this is like very much in the vein of dating and technology where it's like we have these people that you text with. You're like, I don't even know why I'm texting with this person more than they're just another text to my phone that keeps me busy throughout the day. There's people we DM with. There's meme people we have. And you go, and if you don't ever ask what this is, then you could go forever just being two meme people who like basketball together. I don't think, like, let's say a guy walks into the bar in Hoboken tomorrow and you're like, this guy's unbelievable. He asks you on a date. You guys have chemistry. You go out. What are you doing with this guy?
I mean, I've dated people since I've known him. I'll answer like his memes, but that's really it. I wouldn't hang out with him in person.
To me, that means this person means nothing to you.
I feel like maybe he feels the same way. Maybe we both are just like, I can take it or leave it. But I also just
forget about him. Alysha, I can't talk to him. Like I understand what you're saying. Listen, there are people that I DM text with that I want, and I think about it sometimes where I'm like, there are people that I've DM text with in the past that I had a similar relationship to what you have with this guy, where it's like, yeah, we text every now and again. He's not in something, she's not in something, I'm not in something, he's not in something. And it meant nothing. And then they went and got married and they disappeared. Now there's someone I see on Instagram and I stay away from and don't talk to anymore. So life moves on at a certain point. It doesn't have to today. And you could go on this trip. I'm sure you guys would make out on the trip. I'm sure it'll be okay. I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend time of my life. And that might be because I'm 38 and at a different phase. But you have to decide, like, you are putting energy into this. And
yeah,
it's got to be something to you. There's no us to me with you and him.
I think you need to figure out what you want out of this thing because it just seems like you're very reactionary to whatever. You're kind of like, I'll go either way, it seemed like a very cool girl, and I think you might almost be too cool. Like you're too like, we'll make out and talk about sports, and you can text me or not. Or I mean, to me, I could understand why if he's texting you that he thinks you're really pretty and you're sending a vomit emoji, that he might be like, okay, she's not really into this either. So I think if you are into it, which it sounds like you are kind of it, because to me the fact that you wrote into the show, you're coming on the episode, you're maybe a little more invested than you're letting on, and I think that's like maybe it's a very vulnerable thing to say, or to put yourself out there to say like, I'm open to trying this out, we have a good time together, like I'd like to get to know you on a deeper level. And I could see how you're like, that's so far away from anything that we've talked about, or such a different level. But if you're gonna date, which again, I'm not sure if you want, that would be the next step, I think, is getting to that level.
And we can't, I mean, we can't tell you how to feel or tell you to do something. Like, if I know you came here wondering, why is he asking you? And I think, he's probably in the same, it sounds like you guys are in the same exact boat of like, if they made a move, if they were more vulnerable, maybe I'd be more vulnerable. It's a
standoff.
It does feel like a standoff. And when you say like, well, he's in Philly, I would never even entertain it. You're entertaining it. Every day you text with him is an entertainment of it.
Yeah, but I think it's different in entertaining something like in a fun way than like in a relationship way, because I think there maybe might be like one or two qualities about him that like if it was like you're my boyfriend I wouldn't like I don't know, like he has like 12,000 followers on Instagram. I'm like, okay, why do you have 12,000 followers on Instagram? That's crazy to me. Like, things like that, I'm just like, or like, I don't know.
But that's like, I mean if this is fun for you, is this currently as it is fun for you?
I think so. I think the only thing that put it more on my mind is him asking me to go, because I think I was so set on like, oh my God, we're definitely friends now, after he asked me to look at the girl's Instagram.
See, to me, you're never friends. You're to me, there's no such thing as friendship in this. You're someone he's attracted to that gives him attention. I don't think you're going to be at his wedding with the woman that he marries. I don't think you're going to be Auntie Alysha to his future kids. I don't think you're going to be playing video games with him when you guys are 80 on rocking chairs as friend Alysha. I'm saying you two are using one another as kind of, places to tread water of life while getting attention until you feel like continuing life again. And this is very much generational to me. I actually understand it completely, where you're like, I don't want to. And this is like, I think like, when millennials say we don't own houses, we can't afford houses because of the millennial plight. But it's also because we don't like committing to anything. We don't want to be wrong about anything. We don't move anywhere. We rent because we feel more comfortable with it. To me, you're renting attention with him. This is my interpretation, because I can't speak to him. I think he's doing the same with you. I think he's like, who am I going to go to the trip with? I don't want to go alone. I'd rather have a woman who I know will make out with me and sleeps in the same bed with me than nobody.
Yeah.
But he must have other options that are more of a thing than me, because I've had more other options that are more of a thing than him since I've met him.
Would you go to the Bahamas? Would you take him to the Bahamas?
Yeah.
Other options that are more than you have more problems to them. You offer no problems.
That's true. We're very fun.
Well, this is the thing. You've asked for no commitment. You've never asked what we are. You're the perfect woman to bring to the Bahamas. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to bring a woman who doesn't have a lot of questions to the Bahamas.
Yeah, who I've already vetted with this question. With this, tell me if you can find a picture of the cute girl I like.
Right.
You say, I'll look. That to me means, again, like, that was to me. I'm actually not that surprised now that we're talking about it, that this Bahamas trip invite came directly after that conversation where he was like, that was like the problems test.
Right. She's cool with me talking about other women sexually while still being cool making out with me.
Yeah.
Perfect Bahamas date.
And are you okay? If you're okay with that, and you are that cool,
Right.
which you might be. I would definitely am not that cool, but if you're that cool,
and it's the way we're presenting this sounds more usy than I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
think.
yeah.
but it's not
and
usy
it goes
if
both
that-
ways.
It's not usy if she's cool with it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you, I could never be that cool, but I would admire you if you are. But I'm not positive that you are. But if you are, I think then go have fun. But I'm not really sure if you.
If
are.
I went to the Bahamas,
the distance allows us to be cool because like.
You're
It's
letting
like
that
what you
be.
don't know won't hurt you type thing, you know.
Well-
so I can do whatever I want. He doesn't know about it. He does what he wants. I don't really, unless he texts me asking about it. But
Sure, but
like,
Alysha, and I don't mean this to be judgmental or anything, but every time you speak for him, I have to assume you're speaking
sorry.
for yourself. Well, because when you say what I don't see doesn't make me feel bad, like you're protecting yourself, which I understand. We all do this, but like the idea that like Philly to Staten Island can't happen in this world. Oh my God, we're two aliens from two different planets. No, this can
You've already been making it happen.
Yeah, you're doing it, and on a certain level. So, I mean, I would if I were in your position, and a woman said to me, "Hey, Jared, I have a timeshare in the Bahamas." A woman that I speak to who lives in Philly was like, "I want you to come to the Bahamas with me. I have a timeshare." I would want to get ahead and know what I'm getting into. And that's just me. I would go, "Hey, I know we've made out a few times. I enjoy your company. I enjoy our DMs. What are you expecting from this trip? From me? Are you expecting a friend to come? Are you expecting someone who you want to be intimate with?" And these are hard things. I make it sound easy, but it's not.
yeah.
But
That would be,
I
like,
would
the
want to
most
know.
serious conversation we've ever had.
Right, but this is the most serious trip you've ever taken.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This isn't the drive to Philly anymore. We are going to another country together. So
No, that's true.
Yeah, and I have to believe that you care on some level about like what the outcome is.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, I do like him, but but I'm not like, I like him, but I could also forget about him easily if I had to. You know what I mean? Because we're not really anything
Right.
yet. It's like we hang out once every few months. It's like,
Yeah, so to me, it's like, why not try it? Or like, why not try being a little more serious just to see, at least in the
but do
conversation.
you think he even is interested in me in that way? Because I'm really confused if he even sees it like that or if he just views me as a friend.
I think he's interested in you in that way, not a friend.
So do I.
I think when you say, you even said you go, I think he's so hot. You said he's hot.
Oh, he's so
You're-
hot.
So
So he's so hot, and you like your conversations, and you have a lot of fun together.
And then
like,
he
why-
texts you, I think you're
12,000
pretty.
Instagram followers, I guess.
I mean, to me, it doesn't have. It can be very small, and we'll see what happens, or it could be a bigger conversation. To me, I don't. I think things get complicated when sex gets involved, and that's why you guys are not complicated right now. But if
you're in the Bahamas,
in the
I
Bahamas,
think that's
right?
gonna be
Bathing suits,
more
he's
likely,
hot. He thinks
yeah.
you're pretty. You guys are a hot couple. Other people coming up to you going, "Oh, the young couple." Like these things will be answered on this trip, but I don't think he's inviting you because, you guys are pals.
Okay. All right. I guess maybe if I do go on the trip, it'll also maybe.
Where are you at
have
right
some
now?
fun.
Would you take the trip? Yes or no?
When he first mentioned it, I was like in my head, like, hell yeah, like 100% I'm down. But then, like, I was thinking about it more. I'm like, is that weird? Like, I don't know how long he's gonna go for. If I went, I'd only go for like 2 nights because I feel like we're not cool enough to have like an extended like trip together. Like,
I would text him if you want answers. If you want real answers,
yeah.
I would text him right now while on SOS with us.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Pick up
Come
the
on,
phone.
let's do
so
it.
much pressure.
I would text him. I would. This is where it can get sexy. I would go, "Hey, I've been thinking about the
write
trip."
down the you can write it down or type it up, and then we'll
And
you
then
can
we-
send it right after.
Send it right after. Then send us the screenshots because I want to see what
Remove
he
my
answers.
laptop.
Right. Use the laptop. Get out the paper and pen. I would text him, "Hey, I've been thinking a lot about this trip. How do you envision this going?"
And he's 31. He's not like 15.
Right.
So it's not like he's not going to be like, whoa, serious. Like,
Right. No, he's a
this is
fucking
great,
adult.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot about this trip. ... How do you envision this arrangement working?
He's going to be like, I'll fly out on Tuesday. You'll meet me there.
Yeah.
Like,
Same bed. Are we friends? Are we friends who kiss? Like, you could even make it fun. Are we friends who kiss? Are we friends who sit on the beach together and get drunk and then sleep on the couch and sleep in the bed? Are we friends who take poops in front of each other and have sex? You know, I mean, like, bathrooms have to happen. Like, this is not just nothing. This isn't a trip.
Yeah.
This isn't
it's your first couples trip.
right. Is it a
not a
barn
couple.
door, sliding door, or is it a shutting door? I need to know for my pooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like you're so self-protective that you don't want to go there in case, like, it ruins what you have, or in the case it's not the answer that you want. It just seems like a little bit too protective. Like, it's better, like you said, you're at the point where if it didn't work out, you're going to be fine. Why not? Like, this is the best time to, like, be real. Right?
And if it didn't work out, I'll be fine. It's the best time to leave it because you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or it's the best time to like enter in because now, you know, I don't know. I just think also, like, if time doesn't matter, then this is kind of what happens. I mean, but I think, I don't know, you want answers. You came to us, so.
So you think almost like ask the question and then like worst case scenario, like we just like don't talk anymore and it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if that's even a bad scenario for you.
All right.
Like, I don't know what you're losing. It doesn't seem like you care either
But
way.
I truly don't feel like he doesn't cause me any like negative emotions. You know
but he
what I
doesn't.
mean?
It's a low bar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're even.
that's
I mean,
true.
I don't know. Yeah, he's agreeable over text. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, let's say you text him right now. You text him, hey, I've been thinking a lot about this trip. How do you see this arrangement working? Give me kind of a play-by-play of how you see. Give me a play-by-play of how you see this weekend going. And then if he wrote back, I say we go to the beach, we go out for dinner, get a little drunk. That's how I see it. And I would write back, how would you feel about that?
That's what I kind of assumed would happen.
I mean,
That doesn't answer any of the questions.
Right. I guess that doesn't get us anywhere. I mean, that gets you back to kiss. I don't think this trip has to be you two moving in together, you two saying you're in a relationship, but I think this trip has to kind of acknowledge, like, we're two attractive people who are into each other going to the Bahamas.
Yeah. That's like not a small thing to go on a trip with someone.
And if you do think that if I can't see us being a thing, then the trip just shouldn't happen at all.
I wouldn't want to under-deliver for someone who might be bringing me on this trip to, like, take this to the next level, even though none of his actions to this date has shown that. I think, like, I don't know what his expectations are. Like, does he expect to, like, bring someone he's attracted to, hook up, and then go back to where you, like, let's say you guys hook up on this
that's
trip.
a good question.
Right. You go hook up on this trip and you come back and now you're the same as you were. Will you feel?
But now you've slept together.
Yeah.
I think I would feel more open, being a little bit more vulnerable with him afterwards. I think at least I would be able to convince myself that at least he likes me. Whereas right now I'm like, does he even like me? Am I going to sound stupid? You know what I mean?
I think that's the opposite way that you should go because
Right.
you're kind of saying, I need to wait until I'm more attached to tell him how I feel when it's going to hurt way more if it doesn't go the way you want. And I think the better move is to, like, now you're kind of like, cool. You're like not that attached to it in either way. Now's the time to really ask because if you want to protect yourself emotionally, you could say, like, if you're going to sleep together, that's going to make you more attached. You want to know, like, where his head's at.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's say he says he likes you on this trip. He's going to say he likes you on this trip. And then you get back and you've had sex and you've been more physical or wherever it goes. And then you get back and he goes, oh, you know, but Philly's so far away.
No, and it's true. Like we probably be able to see each other once a month, if that. Like
Well,
I
you're
work
now
2
already
jobs.
making the excuses for him
Yeah.
to
No,
have a
no, but I'm also
situation.
just trying to think out. So maybe the best thing to do is just to not even go on the trip then.
I don't know. I can't tell you how to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just think
yeah.
if you're going to be more vulnerable or upfront with how you feel before, because
Right.
after, I think that's what happens a lot of these times where it's like then the tables are turned and you're like before you didn't care and now you're really invested and now like it hurts way more when he's like, hey, I don't think this is going to really work out. So I think the
Yeah.
time to do it is now. The time to say what sleeping with someone means to you is before you do it if it means a lot to you.
Right. And I mean, that's the other thing is like you're saying right now to us that him sleeping with you on the trip would at least show me he likes me. And I would say that
No.
doesn't mean that.
No, but not even that, but at least prove that we have this type of sexual chemistry because we don't even know if we have that right now. You know what I mean? Like it's very, very like buddy buddy every time we hang out. You know what I mean? It's like how could we even know if we liked each other if we haven't had, you know?
I kind of live in the world of like you would have been drawn to each other already if you had that. Like, yeah, it might be good sex experience, but it doesn't seem like you two are like jumping at each other's bones to begin with. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it would work like the. To me, he's keeping you around for this to happen at some point, and he doesn't care if it happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's kind of maybe we're both the same way, and that's why it just like
Yeah, I don't know.
neither one of
It's-
us are initiator, maybe, I guess, or whatever, or cares to.
I feel like the long story short of this is like you forget him.
Right.
You kind of taking a little bit of time to think about it on your own. Think about what do you actually want because it doesn't really feel like you're 100% certain on what you want, and it's hard to like express yourself if you don't really know what you're expressing. So I would just take a while to like figure out what you actually want, play out the scenarios, play out how you would feel in all the different scenarios, and I think that will lead you to a place where before you agree to this trip, you can discuss those things with him. And if you don't want to do that, then maybe you're right. Maybe you shouldn't go on the trip.
Okay, I think you're right. Like I figure out for myself what I want before I even start thinking about like anything else.
Right. Because I think it's
Yeah.
very hard to approach someone and be like, well, what do you want? Like you said, it's
Right.
the reveal versus the ask.
Right. If you like me, I like you.
Right.
Is a lot more like he's gonna say the most agreeable thing. He's gonna go, of course I like you. We DM. And then you can take that in different ways. You could take that as, so I'll go on this trip and he likes me and we get physical and we like each other. And then he goes, well, I meant I liked you then and now it's different now. You know, I don't know. You're not. So if you say I like you and if we go on this trip together, this is me kind of exploring what we could be. That's like a real thing.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not at that place yet.
Then I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I would
What's the
stop
point of
talking to
going?
this person.
Yeah. Then to
I
me, there's
think
no
just
point
I
of
think
going.
we'd have a fun time.
But okay, let's say you guys have a fun time on this trip. You have sex, and then he never talks to you again.
Yeah,
that a fun time
that wouldn't
still?
happen. We'd probably just go back to how we are now.
And would you be cool with that?
I think so. He's not in my life, in my face enough, I think, for me to like be as upset as if he lived in New Jersey and I saw him like once a week, then maybe it would be a different scenario. You know what I mean? But I think he's far enough that like, I don't know.
I mean, if you feel that way, then go to the Bahamas and fucking have a good time. Like if it's not going to affect you. Like I again, this is him at that point. Him liking you or not doesn't matter.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I think a lot of guys out there would have sex with someone they don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
As sad as that sounds.
But-
I mean, or like in the terms of marriage, like in the terms of like and exploring what this could be. If just.
But you do think he sees me like in a sexual type way, like as more than just a
Absolutely.
friend?
Absolutely.
All right.
There's no question.
'Cause I feel like that was like the first hurdle.
If you see him in that way too, I would stop with the vomit emojis. I'm just saying, like to me that
Right,
that
it's
makes
a
it
mixed
less.
message.
To me, that makes it less fun. Like,
Oh, totally.
Like if you're gonna be like flirty and like
I guess I feel insecure being too flirty with him because I'm just like, I don't,
Yeah,
you know.
it's a protection thing.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that that is not serving you. Like it's protecting you maybe, but to what end? To the end of not being able to get to a more intimate level with someone.
Are you looking for a relationship?
Maybe, I don't know. I have a lot, like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out, I think, my work life before because I work almost 7 days a week. So I think if I had to be in a relationship, it'd have to be with someone who lives like in Jersey, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way you're thinking, then you don't want a relationship. Like, and that's okay to admit. Like, you know, right now you're saying, well, if they lived 7 inches away from me, then I would entertain the idea. Like, I don't know who you're gonna find within those parameters that you love. You know, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like the only way I'm able to see someone more than like once a week is if like they're able to like come to my bar and hang out while I'm working. So like I feel like that's like, you know, obviously not going to happen.
Right. I don't know. That's getting ahead. Like to me, like you have a guy that you think is hot, that you enjoy your conversations with, that wants to spend more time with you. Okay, if I'm going to take my very precious time and spend it on you, I want it to be
going somewhere.
Yeah, like or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a good way to look at it, actually. Yeah, you're right. Listen.
Yeah, and so to me, like you're asking, like again, you came on here to ask about what he's thinking and what he's doing, but I think the bigger, more interesting question is what you want.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess I have to take a a long, hard think about that.
Well,
keep us updated. I would love to know how. I would love to get the.
Jared always says that no one's situation is unique. That's why I'm like, they must have the answer for me. They've heard this before.
Listen, we're going through all the options here.
Yeah.
But you gotta have a feeling here too. You know, so. No, I'm happy that you came on. This is a nice. I do want an update as well. Same. Like I want to hear what happens. I'm sure the audience that's watching on YouTube and listening on podcasts wants to hear what happens, and we're really thankful you came on, Alysha. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you for having me.
Of course. And
I hope I wasn't too scattered for you guys. Sorry.
No, you were perfect. I think you speak to a very specific time of life to a lot of people. So, and also a very specific situation that a lot of people find themselves in. I'm texting with this person for what? And you never really think of it until you have to think about it.
Right. And the trip is a great little
time to think
right. Situation. But thank you so much for coming on, and we'll be back on Wednesday with the next episode.
Boom.
The You Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at you.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.